Court rules of the Superior Court of California, County of Orange. One rule that should be implemented throughout the United States is that every courthouse, federal and state, need to provide assistance for pro per litigants, those of us having to represent ourselves because we do not have enough money to hire attorneys. An appeal as well costs $50,000. That's what it cost me. I ended up winning, but you know, that's a substantial amount of money, and even though the defense loses, they only have to pay for administrative costs, and that's nothing compared to paying off the 50 grand. I do believe that the Constitution, the state Constitution and the federal Constitution, the architects of those rules indicate that every courthouse should provide assistance for those of us who can't afford. You shouldn't get as much justice as you can afford. This has been going on for some time, and the courts are not doing anything. Every judge has a responsibility to protect the Constitution as well as every citizen. So therefore, start writing your representatives and see if they are providing care, help, and then they only provide for like divorce and other situations, and they should have to provide for every situation. Otherwise, I guess we're just gonna have to videotape it all to mock the system and win against these corporate elites. Anyways, so you don't get sanctioned. This is really what outrages me. Even when you have an attorney, they sabotage your case. This is what happened to me because they were being sanctioned by the defense, and the defense simply says, I'm going to sanction you $1,500, $3,000, and the defense, even if they're top-notch law firms, they won't pay the money. That's what you know, sellouts they are. They simply just jump off your case. So don't substitute them out until you have another attorney. And I don't know, in my case it was kind of good to substitute them out because it forced me to jump in and learn the laws and save my case. Basically, I was lucky enough to figure out what the hell to do. And I'm still in a quagmire situation because of it. But we need to write our representatives and inform them that one should not be sanctioned at all. The judges need to knock this off. And if you have irreparable harm and merit to your case, they shouldn't be able to sanction you. And they are. And, you know, I have the proof for that. And that's outrageous. Obviously, they're going to say, well, you know, I dismissed your case. I did have one nice judge who basically dismissed my case because I had the evidence and didn't sanction me. But still, it's going to cost me again, second time to appeal on the same argument. To go back to the courts and argue the same similar argument that was already argued, and I put it in my pleading form 3 times. He doesn't understand the laws, and this is just outrages me to no end. But anyways, I have made some laws for our country, and you guys can help. We can stop this. So one is get them to have attorneys at the courthouse, not across the street, not downtown somewhere else, at the courthouse, providing help and assistance for those of us who need guidance, because these rules are ambiguous and it's hard to know, you know, how to get going. Every court, though, does have a computer. Someone had some case law they won where they have to provide you forms, but they don't really tell you where to get somebody to serve a summons and complaint, and then follow up on these other little forms and stuff. And so they sanction you. And before you even get to trial, you're sanctioned $10,000. You'd have to declare bankruptcy. And this has got to stop. And so number 2 is write your legislators and tell them, you know, this sanctioning when you have merit in your case is got to stop. You're already paying your attorney. And even if he's taking it on a contingency, they're just sabotaging our cases and getting off because the defense is sanctioning them to, you know, not even a whole lot of money, but they're such greedy individuals, you know, $1,500 to $3,000. And this is when there's checks being shown that they stopped payment on, and there's other evidence of problems, that there's merit in the case. So anytime there's, you know, some type of merit, they shouldn't be able to sanction you. And you're already paying for the attorney in most cases anyways. And anyway, so follow the rules so you don't get sanctioned. And Division 4 is on civil cases. So, you know, ask questions at the court. I put a lot of it up on YouTube, you know, these law motions and case management. Make sure you always are early and you show up to court. And then when you file things, make sure that you are asking questions and you have 3 copies. One for the judge, one for the defense you have to mail off, and one for yourself. And the third law we need to make is that a pro per litigant shouldn't have to go out and pay someone to serve the defense. This is costly. You should be able to serve them yourself through the mail. I'm not saying we have to go down to their offices, but through the mail or should be sufficient enough if we sign the proof of service. And they shouldn't be able to sanction us if we make little mistakes. I didn't put the whole law firm's name on, and sure, right, you know, but I shouldn't be sanctioned over it. Ugh, this is crazy. The rules are fairly, you know, clear in a way, but not really unless someone gives you some type of guidance. Meet and confer, you're just basically talking, exchanging exhibits and talking to the defense. They may subpoena you under record. And then, in my case, the defense was lying and fraudulently manipulating my deposition. So if they're doing that, nail them. I nailed them. Fraud on the court. I won't tolerate it. Sat there 2 hours. You know, they were trying to say, well, your workers' comp attorney was only a workers' comp. It wasn't personal injury. No, he wasn't. He advertised for 30 years. He did both. And he's responsible. You can't hold me to a defective retainer agreement. Be very careful in these retainer agreements. They'll swallow up your $10,000 when you pay these attorneys and not do hardly any work. And the state bar is acting like the fox protecting the hen house and not going to do a thing to sanction that attorney or to discipline him or get your money back. You're out. And this is really what's outraging me, is these retainers too with these attorneys. So be very careful that you don't get, I got suckered in on my appeal. You know, I paid him $10,000 for a retainer. I thought that's all I had to pay him. Next thing I know, I was being billed. I went up to $50,000. So maybe we should have a cap too. But then, you know, they'll kill your case. But they're already making billions of dollars, these big law firms. There is no excuse for what they're doing. Basically, you assign, designate it, you know, what department, what judge, and all that. And I had shown you how I had done that. And it just starts case management. You know, still I don't really know exactly one step to the next. But I just do the best I can, and that's all you can do in this type of a legal predicament that we're all in and forced to endure. But there's other rules here for different situations: divorce, criminal, juvenile. Should just have it online. They do usually have them on the internet online everywhere, but also try to learn how to use a PDF. And there are loaning companies out there that loan you money on a civil case, not for disability or Social Security, but they'll loan you on a civil case. And this, say, lawsuit funding, you have a civil case and need an advance, so they don't starve you out where you cannot continue to litigate and fight these people for your rights.